All right, let's take a trip. We're heading to a place in Puri, India, where, and I'm not kidding, the basic laws of physics, they just seem to stop working. We're talking about the Jagannath Temple. It's a place steeped in faith for sure, but it's also wrapped in some seriously deep scientific mysteries.
So this really gets you thinking, right? Where does that line get drawn? You've got science on one side, faiths on the other. But at the Jagannath Temple, that line gets so blurry, it practically disappears. It really makes you question everything you thought you knew about how the world is supposed to work.
So let's dive in. The place we're talking about is the Jagannath Puri Temple. Now, this is a huge deal in Hinduism. It's one of the four great pilgrimage sites. But trust me, it's way more than just a place of worship. It's like a magnet for things that, well, just can't be explained. And we're going to start with the stuff you can see with your own two eyes, right from the outside. Things that just flat out defy the laws of nature as we know them.
Okay, first up, take a look at the flag on top of the temple. Simple, right? Wind blows one way, flag flies that way. Except not here. At this temple, the flag always, and I mean always, flies in the exact opposite direction of the wind. People have been scratching their heads about this for centuries, and science? It doesn't really have an answer.
Now let's talk about size. The main dome, called the Shikhar, is absolutely massive. We're talking 214 feet tall. To put that in perspective, that's like a 20-story building. And a building that huge should do one very predictable thing, which of course brings us to our next mystery. You'd think something that tall would cast a giant shadow, right? Well, get this. The Jagannath Temple casts no shadow. None. At any time of day, from any angle you look at it. Is it some kind of mind-blowing architectural genius designed to perfectly play with the sun's light? Or is it something else? Honestly, nobody knows. You know what else is weird? You've got this huge structure. You'd expect to see birds flying around it, maybe nesting on it. But people have noticed for a long, long time, nothing flies over the top of the temple dome. Airplanes, okay, they can be told to fly around it. But birds? Why don't birds fly over it? That's the part that really gets people. And right at the very top, there's this big metal wheel. It's called the Sudarshan Chakra. Now, this isn't just any old decoration. This thing weighs 2 tons. And it has this really bizarre quality. It doesn't matter where you stand in the entire city of Puri, it always looks like it's facing you. It's like an optical illusion that breaks the rules of perspective. It gives you this feeling that it's always watching. All right, so the outside of the temple is pretty mind-bending. But the weirdness doesn't stop there. Now we're going to head inside, specifically into the kitchen, where they say miracles happen every single day. So every day in this kitchen, they make a sacred food offering called prasad. And here's the thing. They cook the exact same amount of food every single day. But it doesn't matter if a few hundred people show up or thousands show up. The food never runs out. Ever. And what's maybe even crazier, not one single scrap of it ever goes to waste. But wait, it gets even weirder. The way they cook is what really breaks your brain. They stack 7 clay pots, one on top of the other, over a wood fire. Now, any of us who've ever cooked anything know how heat works, right? The bottom pot, the one right over the flames, should cook first. Nope, not here. Here, the food in the pot at the very top, pot number 7, cooks first, and the pot on the bottom cooks last. How is that even possible? Okay, we've seen some strange things so far, but now we're getting to the biggest secret of them all. This is the temple's most protected, most sacred mystery. It's a story about the heart of a god and a relic so powerful, it has to be hidden from everyone. So the story goes, way back when Lord Krishna died, his body was cremated, but his heart wouldn't burn. Fast forward a bunch of years, and a king has this divine dream. He finds a sacred log of wood, and then this mysterious carpenter shows up. The carpenter says, "I'll carve the idols from this log in 21 days, but you cannot disturb me, no matter what." Well, the king got impatient, opened the door on that final day, and inside were these 3 strange, unfinished wooden idols. The carpenter vanished. So what about that heart that wouldn't burn? Well, the belief is that the relic, now known as the Brahmapadartha, which means something like the soul substance, was sealed inside that main idol of Lord Jagannath. Some people think it's not just a relic, but some kind of ancient, incredibly powerful source of energy. Now, these idols are made of wood, so they don't last forever.
About every 12 years, they have to be replaced, and that means the Brahmapadartha has to be moved. The ritual for this is just incredible. The whole city of Puri goes into a total blackout. No lights, anywhere. One chosen priest gets blindfolded and his hands are wrapped in thick cloth. He's the one who, in total darkness and without being able to feel it directly, transfers the relic. And the priests who have done this? They say it feels like they're holding something alive. Something that's pulsing, like a small rabbit. And why all the secrecy, the blackout, the blindfold? Because the belief is absolute. If you look at the Brahma Padartha, you die. Instantly, no questions asked. It's the ultimate secret, and it's protected by this incredible mix of deep faith and, let's be honest, profound fear. So you see, these aren't just old stories from a history book. These mysteries are alive, and they're kept alive by some pretty incredible daily devotions and some very street traditions. Think about this. Every single day, a priest climbs that 214-foot dome with no ropes, no harness, nothing, just to change that mysterious flag. And the stakes are huge. They say if they miss that ritual for just one day, the temple has to be sealed shut for 18 years. That's some serious dedication. And it all leads up to the huge annual chariot festival, the Rath Jatra, where the gods actually come out of the temple to greet the millions of people waiting for them. Now, it's also worth noting, to keep the temple sacred, they have some really strict rules. The biggest one is that only Hindus are allowed inside, and they are serious about this. We're talking former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, even a princess from Thailand. They were politely turned away. It just goes to show how unwavering their commitment to tradition is. So, all of this brings us right back to where we started. What are we looking at here? Is this proof of some lost ancient technology that was way ahead of its time? Is it actual divine power at work? Or is it something else, something that our modern science just hasn't caught up with yet? Yeah, the Jagannath Temple doesn't give you any easy answers. It just gives you more questions. It's this amazing place where what's scientifically provable and what's profoundly sacred just kind of melt together. So I have to ask you, after hearing all this, what do you believe?